Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again. I guess you missed me for the past several days. I have been incapacitated health-wise. In fact, I just got out of the hospital a few moments ago, and I walk in here where I was getting ready to do a post before I went to the hospital, and my subject matter is above the law. How to live above the law. And having gone to the hospital, I come back today, and rather than tell you how to live above the law, I want to tell you how to live in America or on earth as if it is heaven. Different than above the law, but as if you are in heaven. And living on this earth as if you are in heaven is above the law. But I wanted to make sure that I got it for you proper. And so I made some notes. If I can find some specs here that I can read through, I'm going to share them with you. And it goes something like this, ladies and gentlemen. Secrets to heaven on earth. Step 1. There is one supreme power. That power is invisible. And some call it power God. An invisible power recognized as responsible for all humans identify as existence. The resources necessary to meet the needs, wants, and desires of every human that comes upon this earth is available at the beginning and at its ending, provided there is an ending. Every human that arrives on this earth comes with a responsibility of a career objective to participate in life. This process allows for the creation of goods and services in such abundance there is enough to meet dreams of every human on earth where such a system is practiced. This includes, but not limited to, all your food, your clothing, your shelter, your education, your health care, your transportation, your infrastructure, and any other things that might appear. Every worker that participates in this process is part owner of all that exists at their pleasure, free. They own it. When everyone has what they want, they find they don't want that much, but rather, maybe even less. You know, people want things because others can't get it. They want to show they can. But when everybody can, then you got nothing to prove. Like going to Old Country Buffet. You didn't know that you can go in there and eat all this food. And so when you got your first opportunity, you didn't know what to do. You just kept filling up. But you kept going back, and finally you realized that the food is always going to be there. And so you went to get your meal, you found out you ended up eating less than you would eat at home. Because you learned the secret. It's there. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. People that listen to this particular plane, they live in peace, prosperity, and freedom. They live with joy and happiness, and dreams are lived. When everyone tires of living, they can exercise euthanasia and die whenever they are ready. Everyone has a responsibility for one another in this wonderful, wonderful life. This wonderful life without prostitution, without pimping, or selling anything, or lying, or cheating, or stealing, or killing, exploitation, crime and violence, terrorism and war, hating and racism, bigotry, and others like bosses and money, debt, taxes, fees, fines. They do not exist here in heavenly places. In the past, I try to keep you up with what is important. Me, where are they concerned? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, my son, by the name of Eddie, like me, he just stopped in to see I'm back from the hospital, and I put on pause just so I could greet him. And I wanted to share with you about these things that are my concern, especially going to the hospital. You know, I've been telling you about my problems. You know, I'm at the age where I'm going to have ED. There's going to be some dysfunction there, erectile dysfunction. Yes. Now, so you know about that. I haven't kept that a secret, so I take medication for that. Then what else happens? I've been having some other problems with my hernia. Hernia. Now that tells you I've not been lackadaisical doing nothing. I have been working hard, doing the things that I do. And now I got this hernia that is bothering me tremendously. In fact, Thursday, I had made plans to go to the hospital in the emergency setting on Friday for this particular hernia. My provider had indicated that I should go and do that. And plus a couple other things. I got a lesion on my pituitary gland. Anyway, that's just to let you know that people get in need of health care. Anyway, I came home Thursday night and I ate. And all of a sudden, I don't know whether I feel choked or stuffed in the chest or what, but all of a sudden I was going through some changes. I'm finding myself falling on the floor trying to get up, and it's more comfortable to be on the floor. Then you want to get up off the floor, but it seems more comfortable to lay down. And then all of a sudden you start hyperventilating and you thought got to vomit. You go, oh man. And then what really got me is when I couldn't breathe. I mean, really couldn't breathe. That thing was something else. So I got an ambulance to come by. It took me to a hospital who made arrangements to send me to another hospital because of their accommodations at that time were not really satisfactory. So I went to another hospital. I did all the kind of vomiting in the medical wagon and in the hospital. It was terrible, ladies and gentlemen. It was terrible. But when they wheeled me to the emergency room at the first hospital, I had to get wheeled by a patient standing in the hallway. And when they wheeled me to my bedroom in the facility that I was treated at, there were people on gurneys out in the hallway waiting on beds. And I'm thinking to myself, all of these people out here need medical care. The facilities are not accommodating. I even read a couple of places on TV, I think, on social media where a couple of hospitals are closing. So I'm thinking, there are a couple of things that's very important in this society. One thing, it's all about people. It is all about people. And the one thing that we should do is recognize that this existence has something to do with power outside of ourselves. And at the same time, we got every resource we could possibly need to do anything from the beginning of time to the end of times, as far as we know. And if everybody, my friends, knowing what the requirements and the necessities are for survival in this life, and everybody's engaged in the process, everybody come here to work, come here to have a career, to do something, then come to sit down, unless sitting down meant something. But you came here to participate in life, and you engage yourself using the resource. It's set up now. It's set up. It's not just everybody trying to do everything. It's set up basically like the system we got today. But the way it is the people's system. It is not Goodyear system. It is not John Deere system. It is not Saruya system. It is the people's system. And it operates perfectly. Perfectly. It is responsible for making sure that because we did all the work, because we're doing all the work, that anybody that needs food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, anything, they got it. And you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. Now, some people got some systems like this, and they pay so much taxes that they can get the services free. But they still got a stranglehold on certain things. The system that allows heaven to exist is when you, the people, are responsible for building everything that the people need, and enough so none of them will be left without. And that being available to them, they don't need a dollar. They don't need a dime. They don't need a loan. They don't need debt. They don't need taxes. They don't need fees. They don't need anything. They come to provide life, and this is what they're doing, and you don't need money. Money, as I've told you before, is not but a crutch. It's a slicker. It's when somebody pull a hoodwink, something like that over your face, making you think that the all of the stuff that you built out here, and we built it, ladies and gentlemen. Human beings built all of the houses. Human beings do that. All the food, human beings do that. All of the clothing, human beings do that. The work, everything is done by human beings. And you want me to believe that human beings would not do it if you didn't give them no money? What do they use their money for? To buy food, clothing, shelter, education, and entertainment. That's what they use their money for. But that having that money kind of limits them. Because you run out of money, you have to go into debt. When you don't not using money, then you restrict yourself because it's free to you. You don't have no need to overdo it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how simpler I can say to you that there's a God, and he's not a white man. There's a God, and he's not a killer, a murderer. There is a God, it's not male or female. There is a God that loves you, created you special to do something special. He on this earth, and your specialty is needed on this earth to add with other specialties so we can have heaven on earth. Don't cost you a penny. It ain't no Donald Trump. It ain't no Putin. And we have to be afraid of no individual. We don't have to be afraid of no individual. Why? Because that individual got what he needs. That individual is not out there trying to lie, cheat, steal, and run a war over your head. Why? He's satisfied. She's satisfied. We are satisfied. They are satisfied. Now, I'm trying to tell you something. Use your head and don't get caught up in a heart attack. But I tell you, if you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke, you do what you want to. But my preference was a heart attack. I don't want no strokes. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share with you what has been happening the past few days. Until, this is Eddie saying goodbye for now.